Want to build a calendar app in SwiftUI with SwiftData using MVVM? This is the perfect place to start. This is the application we will create. We can create a new task by clicking on any date within the calendar. Each of the tasks will be stored within SwiftData. So the task I will add for this example is mow the lawn. Priority, medium. The task is now added to SwiftData. As you can see, because I added the task to SwiftData, it displays the count on the calendar date that one task has been added. If I add another task, it will increment to 2. For this task, I'll just name it wash the car. Priority low. Click on add. As you can see, it has now been incremented to 2. We can also search for tasks within SwiftData. If I type in CAR, as you can see, car is selected at the top of the list, and we can display all tasks within SwiftData. We can also delete a task. And when I delete the task, the count on the calendar date will be reflected. As you can see, it was 2 originally, and now it's been reduced to 1. So this is the actual application that we'll be creating in this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. In this video, we will implement the features that allows the user to save a task to SwiftData, delete a task from SwiftData, and fetch all tasks from SwiftData. The first thing we need to do within our calendar view model is to create the following function, which is called change month by value, which is an int. And the purpose of this function, it will allow the user to change the month by a given value so that the user can navigate backwards and forwards within the calendar, such as go to April, March, or go back from April to March to February, for example. If let new date is equal to calendar current date, by adding .month value to selected date. And what we need to do is to update the selected date using the new date that the user selecting. fetch task. So the fetch task function we'll be implementing later. So the next thing we need to do is to create another function called select day. That will accept a date data type. And this will select a specific day and load the task for that date. Selected date equals day. Fetch task. Now we need to enable the user to save the task to SwiftData. Use the guard statement. Task title is empty. So if the task title is empty, then we just exit the function. So the user cannot save the new task to SwiftData until the task title has been supplied. So if the task title has been supplied, then we do the following. Task title, date, task date, priority, task priority, raw value, try, context, save, attempt to save the new records to SwiftData, task title equals blank, declare the import, show model equals false, fetch task. And then we need to capture any errors that may happen. Saving task. And then we just show the error to the console. On 953, we should delete that date. So we should just read how it is on the following, line 53. Should just include the following parameters. The next function we need to create is to enable the user to delete a task from SwiftData. And the tasks are deleted using index set, which is the index element that will be retrieved from the list on the SwiftUI view. So this is index set. For index in offsets, so we're going through the array, get task, index, get the index of the selected object. Now that we have the index of the selected object, we can now attempt to delete that task from SwiftData. We also need a catch block, and the purpose of the catch block is because if the task has been deleted, we need to save that within the context of SwiftData. And then when a task has been deleted, we need to fetch the new records from SwiftData. Then we just display any errors that may have happened. Error deleting task. And then display the error to the console. Really, this error should be thrown to the UI, to the SwiftUI view. I've done previous examples within other tutorials on the channel. On line 71, that should be task. Now we will create our function, which is the fetch task function. But it should be func fetch task. And the purpose of the fetch task function is to load tasks based on filters, search, or just to load all the tasks or tasks selected by a specified date. This is what this function will do. Var descriptor fetch descriptor. So we'll be fetching an array of tasks for our query, or included in our query will be an array of tasks. If not, search query dot is empty. So if the query contains data and show all tasks is true, then we need to filter the tasks by the search text descriptor equals fetch descriptor task predicate task and then within our closure that's where we do the comparison task dot title dot localize standard contains and then the bracket on lines 93, the curve bracket, we can delete that one, which is this one here. Now I think it needs to be after lines 93. Yeah, that's it. And then we need another else statement. We need an else statement, else if, show all tasks. That will mean we need to fetch the tasks without filtering. Descriptor, fetch, descriptor, task. Else, we need to fetch the task for the selected date. Let calendar equals calendar dot current. Let start of day equals calendar start of day for selected date. Let end of day equals calendar dot date by adding dot day value 1 to start of day. The next thing we need to do is to fetch the tasks that fall within the selected day or date as specified by the user. Fetch descriptor task predicate task tasking is what we've done previously with our closure. Task dot date more or equal to start of day, and task dot date is less or equal to end of day. On lines 102, we need the bang operation, the bang operator for false unwrapping, but really we should be using safe unwrapping where possible. The next thing we need to do is to add our do block, and this will be on lines 111. Pass equals try, context, fetch, scripter. That will run the fetch within SwiftData. And then we need to capture any errors that may happen. And then just display the error in the console. Now I'll just compile it. Cannot find fetch pass. How did we define the function? Oh, yeah, I missed the S at the end. So that should be fetch task to fetch all of the tasks, not just to fetch one task. So that's compiled. So in the next tutorial, we will complete our implementation of our calendar view model, and then we will start to implement our calendar view. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.